Time is relative. Something I've read online. Yeah, I can speak to that firsthand because when you're waiting to hear back from a machine shop, time passes super f***ing slowly. What I was saying in the last video about cars being encouraging to work on because you can replace all the bad parts, blah, blah, blah. It's only encouraging if you can find quality parts to put back in, and if you can find quality shops to do some of the work. So the flip side of that message is working on cars can really test your mettle when things don't go your way.
It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available.
Now I've been dealing with that kind of a situation, trying to get the junkyard engine machined. Engine rebuild is progressing with the help of a friend, so we're gonna have a happy ending. But anyways, let me show you what happened and let me show you what I've been up to. So I got that junkyard engine I picked up torn down and I brought it to a local machine shop, like right up the street. I did some research in the shop, albeit minimal, and I saw online they had a great reputation, great reviews. I'll bring this up again later. So I made plans with them and I dropped it off. Week goes by, tried to call them, no answer. Did this for a few days and then I decided to just stop by in person and surprise them. Found out my engine had just been sitting there for a week. So we go over again what I wanted them to do. Hot tank it all, flush the coolant passages, hone the cylinders, give me new rings, give me new rod and crank bearings, give me a valve job and new stem seals. They agreed. Another 10 days goes by, I get a call that the engine is done. I gotta pick it up and it looks like shit. It's dirty as
I've never been this angry in my entire life!
I get some story about their sandblaster being down, can't run it, but I can tell it wasn't even hot tank. So I understand I should have stopped right there, working on getting my money back. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna put anyone on blast, not just yet. Turn the other cheek, right? Well, this shop can have both cheeks and then some. Anyways, I got the heads and block back to my garage. I knew what I had to do was tear it down and figure out what work had been done, if any, and what I gotta do to make it right. So let me see how it rotates. Yeah, it's rotating. Sounds grindy though, I do not love that. And yeah, the oil collecting at the top of the cylinders are dripping out. It's full of carbon and grit. Plus the cylinders don't look honed at all. I'm gonna have to tear this whole thing down before I'd ever feel comfortable running it. Another day after cooling off for a bit, gonna move on to the heads. If the block was filthy, the heads are gonna be too, so I gotta tear them down and at least clean them. But I wanna check the quality of the valve job. The heads definitely aren't freshly cut. Looks like they were sanded or something. I'll tape it off anyways to protect the face during disassembly.
24 hours later.
I'll use this cheapo spring compressor to get the valves out. You can see here, look at all that carbon. Yuck.
It's over. We are screwed.
What you can see here, didn't get a valve job. The valves just got lapped. Yeah, look, you can see from the pattern here, this is where they were just hit with a wire wheel. Not even completely, there's still carbon left behind. Ah, damn, okay. Alright, yeah, this is bad. So what do I got? I got a half-done, dirty engine. I lost like 3 weeks, and I lost some cash. This sucks. This definitely sucks. It sucks.
This sucks.
This fucking sucks. A little bummed out. Definitely got knocked down. Got to pick myself back up.
I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes and I've been everywhere in between.
So I got to find a way to remind myself why I'm psyched on this project. I want to daily this thing. I want to load it up with friends and drive around. I want to listen to cassettes, run errands. So I got to remind myself I'm not fighting against the clock and I just got to find my patience and everything will be fine. Where my skills are lacking, like picking the right machine shop, I will make up for in persistence. All right, I'm excited again, ready to go. So I jumped on my phone, jumped on Instagram, started going through messages, people coming through in the comments, always offering advice. And I see a message from this guy, Nicky Nitrous. So this guy is someone I've raced against at 24 Hours of Lemons. So I know he's got a machine shop on Long Island, and I know he does great work. And after busting my balls for not going to him in the first place, he said, bring the engine down, bring the heads down, we'll go over it together and he'll make it right. He said I could even film some disassembly and do some machining, so
He told us about a road trip. We got all excited. We got up super early, and we packed the car, and we were hoping to get out of here before your bus arrived.
Now, this is perfect timing because I was going to be in Jersey that weekend anyways for a drifting event. Taking the engine to 2 different machine shops was not in the plan, but this solution just fell into my lap, so I'm taking it. Time to pack up the engine and hit the road.
You know what? Maybe I should go. No.
We're all in.
No, we're not all in.
We're not all in.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Just want to take a second to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoy what we're doing, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. You can also follow us on Instagram at Team Hesh. If you're looking for other ways to support, we have merchandise available at teamhesh.com. Got t-shirts and hats. Check them out. And as always, thanks for watching. So map says 5 hours, make it 6, 6.5. Saturday got Legends of Drift event in Jersey. We'll check that out. That's my first drift event. Sunday morning, arrive at Spite Performance on Long Island and do some machining. All right, we got 4 hours and 38 minutes to Jersey. We're gonna have time to stop for burgers.
One guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah.
So here's the one video I shot at the drifting event. Check it out. Glad I got to check it out. And I got this stupid tan on my forehead from wearing my hat. Yeah, drifting, it was all right. Landed at Spite Performance Sunday morning to a warm welcome from Nikki. Shop was everything I expected it to be, full of huge machines with unknown purpose. Nick checked out the block and heads, drew some conclusions based on what he saw, and we decided on what work he's gonna do. We started with disassembling the block to get the pistons and crank out. Got to bang numbers into the connecting rods, which was pretty cool, and I only missed once. So some of the audio here is going to be messed up or missing because the ultrasonic cleaner actually really messed with the camera microphone. It was super. So checking out the heads, Nick confirmed my suspicion. The heads were cleaned with a wire wheel and not machined. So we got them into the ultrasonic cleaner and check this out. Whoa, get it clean. Dang, dude. They came out looking so good. Super shiny, super clean. Then we sandblasted the heads to get the surfaces as clean as possible, and it made a huge difference. I even got to run the sandblaster myself, which was awesome, and I definitely need one of these at home. So pulled the pistons out, got a look at the crank. Nick said that everything looked pretty good and new bearings had been installed, but it was still a super dirty job. Block looks good, just dirty. Nick got the freeze plugs out and fought them for a minute, cause why? Check this out. So much crud and gunk behind them. Yuck. That's like dried up, disgusting old coolant. There's enough junk in there that this engine probably had cooling issues. So got the valves machined the right way, and look at the difference it makes. It's huge. You can tell this is done right. Nice and shiny. With the valves cut, now we can cut the seats with this crazy machine. So Nick explained some math about angles that I'll have to think about for a while before it makes sense. I guess you gotta center it a few different ways and use a really unique cutting bit. Then you can hit the valve with this blue colored paste and smash it against the seat to show that it's making good contact. It's so cool to see this in person. Check it out, he showed me a party trick too. Next, we put the block into a cleaner where it gets sprayed by hot jets while rotating. And then pulling it out, look at that thing steaming. It's perfectly cooked. I get to blast it out with air and dry everything off. And that's as clean as it's getting today. Per Nick's suggestion, we're gonna put in 0.5 millimeter oversized pistons to make up for some slop that we saw in the cylinder bore. The forces and the way that gets worn in, it's a smart thing to do. I want the engine to be tight. So fresh rings, bearings, valve stem seals, and whatever gaskets we need. And I'm headed back to his shop in like 10 days with the goal of wrapping up the short block and bringing it home to slap accessories onto. I had to go 2 steps back to go 3 steps sideways or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I hate waste, and most of all, I hate wasted time. But silver lining here, silver lining. I got to see Spike Performance firsthand. I got to do some of the machining work myself. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. The way the engine is coming out now is doing it right. And if you're looking for a machine shop on Long Island, check out Spike Performance. Nick is a good guy and he does great work.
Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.